Hello everybody, it's a pleasure for me to be in front of you now. My name is Plamen Rusev and I am chairperson of the Academy, organizer of a Webit event for Southeastern Europe and one of the biggest in Central and Eastern Europe with 4,300 people registered, with more than 49 panels and more than 55 speakers, most of them keynotes, and I have the honor and pleasure to present one of them, Mr. Alain Heureux, President of IAB Europe, or I should say it originally IAB Europe. Alain, thank you for accepting my invitation and being here.
With pleasure and honor.
Webit, thank you very much. Straight to the questions. What are the most important present and emerging trends in the internet advertising these days?
I think two elements that I see as important trends now. On one hand, it is the emergence of video. And it can make people smile, but video brings back a lot of things that we were missing in the online. What are emotions? Emotions and also a little link to the past. You remember the 20th century when we were making consumers smile and gaining brand preference due to things like television and others. And it was always a mixture of audio and video. And we were missing that little human emotional touch in the online space, and I think video can bring back a lot of new advertisers around the table that will look for emotions, brand advertising, and that's certainly one great trend in internet, followed by the fact that we now with technologies can also target more and more our message, making it more relevant, more targeted, and so more efficient. So we can combine, on one hand, we can bring emotions, and on the other hand, we can bring the emotions to the right people on the right time, on the right place, making it more relevant and more efficient. And that's, I think, two important trends hanging around in Europe and in the US, I think a bit everywhere.
I have no better person to ask this question, so I will do it, and excuse me if I am asking too much from you, but what are your expectations for the next few years for development of internet advertising?
Well, I think, and what I hope, and it's never nice to use the word recession and economical crisis because people are getting cold in the street and looking for jobs and losing their jobs, so it's not a nice subject. But I think due to this crisis, our media industry and marketing industry will need to go to the real debate. I think until now, they just all played a little bit digital, saying, we believe in you. But I don't think that everybody really believed fully in it and was ready to rethink their business model, including a digital element into it. As long as you were not forced, you were postponing, delaying and waiting. And now nobody can wait anymore. Television, publishers, media owners, agencies, research companies, everybody suddenly is forced to rethink. And that's for me a major thing that will happen in the next 1, 2, 3 years. So after the crisis, I think our media, marketing, communication ecosystem will look totally different than it was before. And that's something that will create a lot of opportunities, because look what happened to the music industry. Before and after internet, the music industry looked totally different. Some people disappeared, others came up. It's a new kind of industry, but still providing jobs, employment, money, business, success, and many things. So I think that's an interesting thing, even if the subject is not always nice.
Since we've been watching, and we'll watch then for thousands of people, just a few words about IAB worldwide, and in person IAB Europe, represented by the president, Mr. Alain Heureux. This organization is the only organization that represents in a truthful way the interests of the digital marketing industry and the players in it. Digital industry and the players in it. And the players are interactive agencies, online media, of course, service providers, and advertisers. This group together makes it and gives it the strength that IAB has now. IAB in US, the members of IAB US are responsible for 86%, if I'm not wrong, of the online advertising turnover spent in US. In Europe, IAB Europe is representing the interests of more than 5,000 companies in the digital industry. in 20 countries, and hopefully, this is my next question, hopefully in Bulgaria. Maybe, when and how, I hope we see now. I hope we'll have answers during and after Webit. I hope that next Webit will give the good news of IAB Bulgaria, approved and accepted by IAB Europe and by the president and the board of directors. Why IAB Bulgaria? Bulgaria, according to the statistics of e-Academy, has a total ad spend in online advertising at the amount of no more than 15 million. It's 0.1% of the total budget spent interactive map of Europe, with 12.9 billion euro for 2008 invested in digital advertising. So why Bulgaria? Why should we, this small and poor for the players market, with only 15 million turnover for 2008, should be interested for IAB Europe and should be interested to form IAB Bulgaria?
From a personal perspective and very egoistically, talking about IAB Europe, I'm interested to have Bulgaria on the map because we are representing the digital industry and all the stakeholders you mentioned. 5,000 companies in Europe and tomorrow 6,000 and more. We do represent them in Brussels, and in Brussels there is an institution called the Parliament and a Commission, and they do represent themselves 27 countries. When they talk to us, they want us as well to represent big and small firms, Americans and Europeans, but also all the countries, and we need to have a presence in Bulgaria. That's my belief and concern. I need somebody here. Now, if you look to you as a business, as an industry, why would I do this? I think you need to look to your industry in Bulgaria, and don't forget that today, it's a bit like tough probably, but you are not united. You are not organized properly. You are not standardized sufficiently. How will you then expect the market to grow? You need to arrange this, because if you are not united, the other next to the fence, they laugh. Because you know, in war, divide and conquer, or divide and manage. And you are too much divided, not enough united. Everybody needs to be united. The different stakeholders, all of them, interactive agencies, media owners, service providers, everybody needs to be united behind one body. You give them to the industry a face and a body. So you are somebody, you have a face, you are united among all united behind some principles, some priorities, and then you start to organize yourself. So you create measurements and metrics, and then you standardize, and then eventually you will suddenly gain the trust, the attention and the confidence of the advertisers and the rest of the ecosystem. They will not be able to divide you anymore, and then I think you will see that money will flow in easier and faster than what you would expect now.
The mission of e-Academy for the region was, and still is, to develop the market, to bring e-educated people for the advertisers, for the industry, to make it happen. Just a few months ago, I've promised Alain that I will try to speed up the process of IAB Bulgaria, and hopefully we're going to have it. What are your expectations?
My call for action clearly here at Webit, because I think you managed one extraordinary thing, is to bring the industry together, not only from Bulgaria but from the region. And I think we have some nice colleagues in the region. What is already good is that you have some expertise, good practices around you. You have Romania, a growing
colleagues
gap.
from IAB Romania.
You have Greece, you have Turkey, right. You have Poland, who came with me. You have a couple of interesting colleagues that can help you. And my call for action is to say, if you believe in the story that we told today, in the fact that we need to have an organized, standardized, educated market, if you believe in this story, raise your finger, raise the finger, and make sure that, I know it's still time and energy for you and for some others, but I hope that in maybe 1 month time you can come back together with 30, 40 companies who should be considered as the founding members, organizing the first elections, the board, a democratical body, putting money on the table to hire a first full-time manager, a full-time expert, recognized, well-educated manager who will, if he's good, run this as a company and we'll make it successful, delivering real value for the market. And that's my biggest concern, my biggest call to action to the Bulgarian market. And I can only hope that I can still have your energy and power behind that with some other people that I met today.
You can count on this since we've started together, and it won't be a good initiative to start something so positive and then to get back. So for sure you can count on my personal and my structures and the whole market support, because as we can see, Webit is supported by the market. Just for the viewers, we just went out from a meeting with the major players in the digital industry in Bulgaria, which were invited by me and Alain, just for meeting and for sharing why IAB Bulgaria, what is happening. Those players were from top advertisers, presented by themselves and also by the associations of advertisers in Bulgaria. They were representative of Advertising Association in Bulgaria also. There were lots of online media. The top 5 and the top 10 of the media were presented. And of course, the invitation was set to the top 10 digital agencies in Bulgaria. So all of them were present there. And as Alain said, his call for action was very simple. Raise your hand and share your attitude and share your expectations, and of course share your optimism or pessimism about IAB. The good story is that we didn't have any pessimistic news. We only have optimism. We only have people who are sharing that they are ready to support, that they know and they feel the need of IAB Bulgaria. So let's hope that the first sign being present here with the president of IAB Europe and the president of IAB Poland, and with the representation of many IABs around Bulgaria, it will be a good sign, and hopefully the market will be really united. Because this is what we're talking about. It's not only the digital agencies, but the whole market, and that's how it's going to grow. So let's see, the future will show. The thing we believe that is we set up the good beginning. I have so many questions for you prepared from my journalist in E-Times, but okay, just a few more. Sorry, thank you for your time.
No problem.
Anyway, I got here in Bulgaria, so I have to use it. What do you think are the barriers in front of the development of digital markets in Bulgaria and in the region, since anyway Webit covers the whole region, and it's important for the regional players, which are more than 1,000 here at Webit this year?
The biggest real business challenge in front of us is the fact that brand advertising money is not coming to our platforms. Direct response, think about all the click deals, all the search, all even email campaigns, and everything that is related to conversion, click, performance-based, and all this stuff is coming naturally. It's coming naturally because we are efficient, because it's crisis, because it's an interesting way, return on investment minded, that advertisers and marketers are looking for. So that's growing, but the other side is not growing at all. Where is that money? Either it's cut, disappeared, staying in traditional media and not coming to us. That's why with Europe, with the board of IAB Europe, we said like, hey, let's go for an initiative in 2010. We will declare it the Brand Advertising Initiative 2010, and it will have 3 building blocks that are the hurdles of the market. One is about formats. Let's show to advertisers that there are specific formats to direct response and specific formats for brand advertising. I think about 2 of them, for instance. In the US, we saw the appearance of a super banner. It's a kind of banners that is really like a big, because you can gain the big eyeballs, and through that gain top of mind, share of voice, brand preference, and all the metrics that we know from traditional media. So specific formats like the mega banner, the video advertising. What is the length of a pre-roll? Is it 7 seconds, 11, 15, 30? Let's make some guidelines. Formats is one building block. The second one is measurement. What do we need to do here? Is clicks and CPM, CPC, or page views and visitors the metrics that we need to use to prove brand advertising, or is it going back to GRP, OTS, or a new one? Is the engagement, the length of contact, are these things that we need to integrate to prove that we are building brands? So we need to think back with the measurement companies and the industry and the IAB, what are the metrics that we will use to prove brand advertising impact. And the third pillar is research. So you have the formats, you have the measurement, and you have research. It's a bit about proving it, like a pre-test, a post-test, where you see that a brand used only maybe online or online combined with something else, and then we see that the brand recognition, the top of mind, the share of voice, the brand preference, and the efficiency, we can prove it post-test clearly, like we have been doing that since years in the 20th century, to prove the efficiency from traditional marketing. And that's something that these three blocks, if we can work properly on it, then I hope that this will eliminate a couple of hurdles that you are facing. But don't worry, it's not because you think now that in the UK television has become media number 2 because internet
After
became
digital.
bigger. It's not that they have no hurdles anymore. They have these hurdles as well. 2/3 of the British market is direct response. It's only 1/3 going to brand advertising. We need to increase it in the UK and in Bulgaria. If we can work on this, hopefully in 2011 we can share some good results.
What are your predictions? I know it's crisis. I know it's this economic storm is right now sweeping through the whole region. A little bit later, but as usual. But now is maybe the peak, or we are about the peak. Hopefully, we know that it's the peak, so it's going to be better. Hopefully. But what are your expectations for the local markets in the next 1 to 3 years? What do you predict? Well, we have 15 million here. According to the ADEX IAB report in Romania, it's about 20 million. But you left this small door because Google never gives on the search marketing and other also. So let's have there 30 million. We have here 15. So what do you expect for 2009 and your expectation for 2010?
The major 5-6 markets being France, UK, Germany, Spain, Italy, and a bit Netherlands, they will slow down in 2009, and I think if they can reach the 4-5% growth for whole year, it's a massive result, because in the meantime, don't forget that traditional media, direct marketing included and below the line even, sometimes are going down. We're still growing 4-5%, so the market share after will be bigger. And why I say that is it important? Is it a question of being always the biggest, and why? To make myself important? No, I think it is because when you reach a certain size of 15, 20, 25, 30% of all spending are going to digital, then you become a central media, a central concept, a central reflex in all marketing and media strategies. As long as you haven't reached that level, when you're still at 3.5% like in Bulgaria, sorry, you can be cut down tomorrow from any budget. When you're 25, 30, you cannot be cut down anymore. Go to your CEO and explain that you will cut down 25%, being one of the most important media in your country. It's not possible. For 3.5 you can do it. So this will be the growth in 2009 for the 5-6 biggest, and the smaller ones, including Bulgaria, including Poland, including Turkey, including even I would say the Scandics and others, because they're smaller in absolute value, but they, I think, still should be able to grow above the 10%. And I think 10, 15, 20, Poland will be at 15. I think a market like Bulgaria had a bit of a difficult month in the beginning of the year, but if it continues to grow like now, you should be able to go over this 10%, and I hope to be close to the 15.
Alain, it was a pleasure to having you here. Thank you for accepting my invitation, being to Bulgaria for the first time.
Yeah.
I hope you're going to enjoy it later on.
Sure.
And we hope that next meeting will have very good news for the market, because the good news is called IAB Bulgaria. Let's call it IAB Bulgaria. Thank you.
Thank you.